to the Spicy Booknook, where we discuss all of our favorite and not so favorite dark and dirty book series. We're your hosts, Aj.
And Tay. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Today we will be reviewing Den of Vipers by K.A. Knight. Please be aware that there will be spoilers and explicit content for mature audiences only. Trigger warnings include, but are not limited to, rape, sexual assault, graphic sexual assault, graphic depictions of gore, violence, graphic language, knife play, and more.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Okay, so starting out, what do you rate this book?
I would give it a 4. I originally gave it a 5, but I went back during my notes and was like, there's some things I want to talk about.
What? Let's discuss. What do you want to say?
Okay. Well, it's a lot, so we'll do your rating first. What did you rate it?
I gave it a 5.
Okay. And so I gave it a 5 at first initially, but I was like going back through and I was like, there's some things that I would change because first of all, I was like doing some, reading online and they were like, this happened in a span of a couple weeks. And I was like, wait a second. This
Oh,
is
wow.
yeah. I was like, this ain't realistic. But as a dark romance girly, like I don't care like if it's all smut or whatever, like I'm still very much gonna be into it. So it wasn't a problem for me. I just was like they fell in love way too quickly.
Is that the only thing you would change?
Um um no, the triad shit like should have came in like way before. I should have known about the triads like way earlier
Mhm.
because when they came in I was like who the fuck are these motherfuckers like I don't know. Like that was a little different for me like plot stories. Let's see. Um And then I don't know. I want to say there's anything else I would change, um, so to say, other than what I said, but there's some things that I didn't like, um, but it's just a preference. It's not anything like that's bad, but yeah, I'm over the knife and gunplay. I'm not. That's not for me. Okay, I'm starting to realize every day that that's not for me. And don't get me wrong, the book was good. I think that it was decent writing. I don't want to say it's spectacular or anything like that, but it was really good. Um, but I noticed they went from like speaking regular in the writing to like British, I guess. So it was, I don't know, the writing was a little bit different for me because I feel like the style of writing changed throughout the book, but the book overall was still good. That's why I give it a 4.
Okay, so I guess first we'll explain pretty much a short little overview of the book. So, pretty much the overview of the book, there is this woman named Roxy or Roxanne. She owns a dive bar. Pretty much through her childhood, she was abused by her dad. He's a piece of crap. And he owes a debt to the Vipers, who are like this pretty much they like own the city, like mafia type, bosses. And so her dad, to settle the debt, sells her to them.
Which
And
was
so,
cold-blooded,
which
like
is
first and foremost.
crazy. And
Bro,
so pretty much they kidnap her and are pretty much like, your dad owes us a debt, so we own you and we can do whatever we want to you. And pretty much that's like the little short synopsis of the book.
yeah.
So one, I was like, it starts off with the dad selling her, and I was like, damn. Like
He
he's
ain't
just
shit.
like, sorry, I ain't got the money, but you could take my daughter. Like, that's fine. Like, that's crazy. What are you? I'm like, what kind of piece of shit dad are you? And then obviously when they go into how he was abusive and stuff, it made sense. Because in the beginning, I was like, who would just be like, oh, I can't pay you back, so you just gonna have to take my daughter?
Right.
Like, that's nuts.
I
I
mean, go
That
ahead.
was crazy. I will say, in this book, Roxy is like a badass.
She
Like she a
is.
bad bitch. And I will say that's the one, like this book, I love that she was not like a victim. Like I feel like in a lot of the dark romance, it's just like, oh, this sad poor girl, like goes through a lot in her life and she's just, like they victimize the woman. But like
Hmm.
Roxy, even though she had been abused and gone through all type of shit, like she made sure she was not a victim. Like she was fucking people up at that damn bar. Men, she did not care. She was beating up men. She did not fucking care. And I feel like she made it a point to be like, I'm not a victim. Like, no
What was
matter
the
what
name of her bat?
no, no matter what I go through, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm a bad bitch. I'll get through whatever. And I will say, I love that because I feel like a lot of the books we read, like, the woman is just, like, oh, kind of damsel in distress type.
Hmm.
And Roxy was like, even after they kidnapped her, like she didn't give a fuck. She was still talking shit to them. Didn't like
No, for real, because she was
did
like,
not
go
care.
kill him. Like, go kill my daddy. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to pay his debt. I don't even talk to him.
And so they even thought like, oh, this is gonna be an easy kidnapping. And they sent people to go kidnap her first, and she beat all them
Beat
men
the
the fuck
hell out
up.
of them.
She fucked them up. So then they were like, okay, what the fuck are we dealing with? Like we just sent these tough ass men to kidnap this girl, and she literally beat all they ass. So now what? So then obviously the Vipers have to go get her because she is just off the fucking charts.
The Viper brothers are crazy because one, Diesel was a psychopath. Garrett got 99 problems and they all bitches. Um, Kenzo, he's like
Nine
a
problems
little
and
bit
they
of a
all
mean
bitches.
streak, right? 99 problems and they all bitches, Mr. Garrett there. And Kenzo, I mean, he was like he had a little bit of a mean streak, but he was really a sweetheart. That's my man. And then Ryder was just like stubborn and was like, I'm not letting nobody in. Like, I don't want to be around nobody, blah, blah, blah. He
Can I
was
just say that I loved these men. Love, 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 love. Like in the beginning, I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go. Like, cause after reading the Never King, like I love reverse harems, but like I'm just a Never King girly. So I was like, I don't know, like how I'm gonna feel. But reading this book, I was like, I love these men.
I do
These men
too.
are just like, even with their crazy ass problems, I was like, oh my God. Like in the beginning when they were describing them, I was like, girl, if you don't fuck all these men, like
Yeah,
lose that damn attitude, okay? I get you don't want to be kidnapped, but girl,
not lose the
okay?
attitude. Girl, she was kidnapped. She's supposed to have attitude.
Lose that damn attitude, okay? You in a house, you kidnapped by four fine ass men. And then not only are they all fine as hell, they're just like, okay, like it's not like they kidnapped you and threw you in a basement.
That
Like they're
part.
keeping you in a fucking penthouse.
That is
Girl, why
exactly
are
what I
you
was gonna
mad?
say. You
Like
can't be mad when they told you you don't have to work no more because you don't have to work at that damn bar. You get to live in a nice, luxurious ass
they'll buy you
house.
whatever you want. They
Breakfast
got you in
every
a
morning.
penthouse. Like, you mad that you got kidnapped by four fine ass men who put you in a penthouse and just want to treat you like a princess? Girl, if that's me, slut me the fuck out. What you talking about?
Promise you.
Why I got an attitude? I ain't got no fucking attitude. I'm
That's
this is great. I love this. Like, what? I was like,
I agree because I'm looking for boyfriend 2, 3, and 4 right now. Because what do you mean? I can have whatever I want and live in a nice, luxurious home and not have to work, and I get
like
dick anytime I want.
y'all fucking me, y'all feeding me, y'all buying me stuff, y'all like bathing me and being all sensual to me. And I have four different men that I'm getting different things from each man.
Period.
What are you mad for?
Because your daddy sold you.
Girl, what are you mad for?
I mean, honestly, your daddy gave you a better deal. I mean, it's fuck her daddy forever because he
Definitely.
ain't shit. But I mean, the situation that you got put in because of your daddy, I mean, honestly, like he kind of made your life a little bit better,
Well,
girl.
that's how you know I don't live in reality. Because right off the
Exactly.
bat, when they kidnapped her and she was doing the most, I was like, girl, oh, enough.
He
Like,
said, I don't live in reality.
when they brought her to her nice ass fancy ass room and she destroyed the whole room, I'm like,
She was
Girl,
doing the most. Oh
you're
my
doing the
God.
most because yes, I understand if they kidnapped you and tied you up and threw you in a dirty ass basement and was like, stay here. They literally, the kidnapping was pretty gentle. They were just like, come with us.
Right.
And obviously you didn't want to, so you got punched in the face. That sucked. But you was then they bring you here to this beautiful ass penthouse apartment and they're like, okay, we're just gonna put you in this nice room and we're not gonna starve you or anything. We're gonna feed you, we're gonna buy you all
Bitch
new
was getting
stuff.
breakfast every morning.
Like,
Okay.
and you was like, oh, I'm mad, I'm about to destroy this whole nice ass room.
You know what? And this is why I feel like you're a never king girly, and so am I, because
Because from the jump when she got kidnapped, girl, open them legs. What are you
yes,
talking about?
baby, this is dark romance. This is what we here for. You
This
know,
is, I'm like, you already know what time it is. Clothes off, okay? What are you talking about?
chain me
Like,
up, play with me,
I'm
okay?
like, if you
I
ain't
am your
throwing
play
cat around
toy.
to all these men, what are you fucking doing? Okay? What are you doing?
No, for real. I really am gonna have to separate reality from book, because if four men kidnap me, I don't know what my first thought will be at this point.
Well, now that you read these books, might be you might be a little bit
I
like,
don't know.
this ain't too bad.
I don't know, because this book, they was doing a lot of cutting, girl. There was a lot of cutting.
I feel
Okay.
like there was more Diesel though. So I
Okay,
guess we
he
can
was
talk about
wild.
we can
Okay.
talk about the men. Okay, so there's four men in the story. Garrett is like hates women. He literally is like anti-women, hate them. Kenzo is like the lover. So from the beginning, he's super just
Mm,
lovable. Ryder is very just closed off, just completely stone, like no emotions, no anything. And Diesel is a fucking psychopath. Like he just is literally, there's some screws loose. And so I will say my favorite was Kenzo. From the beginning, I was like, this is my man, my man, my man. Like, this is
same.
my man. Like, I will say I liked Garrett a little bit just because in the beginning he wasn't so, like, I hate women towards her. He was, he was okay in the beginning. I
Uh-huh.
think I just liked Garrett because their sexual attention was so thick that I was like, girl, if you don't
It
just,
was
I
very
was
thick.
like, Garrett, fuck her already. What are you
Fuck
doing?
her.
Like,
Okay.
if he, like that part was just, I was like, the sexual tension between them two, just because he was like anti, I hate women, was just like that sexual tension was so intense. I'm like, sir, if you don't just fuck this woman, like
You know
even
what?
even her, she was like, damn, like I'm trying to fuck this man and he just don't want nothing to do with me. Like,
You know what got on my nerves with Garrett? This is another thing that I was like mad about, because I was like, how the hell did this nigga have all this women PTSD or whatever, and then one little bit of neck, oh, he got a cure for his PTSD. You know, Roxy was like, "Okay, I got the medical miracle mouth, and now you don't have no PTSD." I don't get it. I did not get that. Like, he hated people. He was very much PTSD, hated women, and then he got some head and he was cool.
maybe that's why. Maybe he was just, it was just a lot of pent up anger,
Not
and then
maybe that's why.
Roxy was throwing neck, and gobble me, swallow me, drip down the side of me was her, and he was like, okay, maybe women aren't so bad, or maybe she's just not so bad.
You
But
know.
even he still was like kind of a dickhead. But that scene was like, when that scene happened, I was like, finally.
Yeah,
Damn. I was like, how long are we going to wait? This sexual attention is literally killing me. Finally. I will
girl.
also say I liked the first scene finally when she fucked Kenzo. That was like, finally, because I was like, girl, you like these men, quit fighting it. Like, just give in. And Kenzo, clearly in his book, they describe his character as, pretty much he fine. And
Hmm.
he know what he doing. And so I was happy that he was like the first one that she actually had sex with. I was
Yeah,
very pleased with that.
he was very much the one I would give it up to too.
Very much. I was like, this is great. This is great. He was the first one. That was lovely. I love that. Diesel was just a little too crazy for me. I enjoy rough sex, but like I don't want you to like cut me. I don't want to be cut. Okay.
Diesel
Like,
was the one that fucked her with the knife, right?
yeah.
With the in the booty,
With the handle.
and then he stabbed himself.
And then left the handle in her ass and took a picture of her. Crazy. You are wild.
Wild. That whole scene had me just like jaw
Mouth,
dropped. What the
mouth on the
fuck is
floor.
going
I was
on?
like, but then I also was like, yes, this is what I signed up for. Let's go.
No, for real. Because I was like, wait a second. Like, he's over here talking about, I need you to help me. After he stabbed himself, I'm like, dummy, why'd you stab yourself in the first place?
Yeah.
But I'm
But
feeling it. It's wild because
he said it's too good. I'ma just kill myself while I'm in it. It's fine.
I'm gonna kill myself. I'm in the pussy for real.
Literally. I was like, wow. That part was, I will say that was like one of the, in my opinion, the like the wildest sex scene. Cause I was like, sir, you're literally about to kill yourself. Like,
No, literally,
like chill.
literally.
You gotta chill.
You know what was also wild to me is how like Roxy broke her. I think she popped her shoulder like back into place, broke some ribs, cracked some ribs, and then just a couple hours later, she fucking
Oh,
how?
absolutely. She said that ain't about to stop me, baby.
Oh, how is that working,
She said these ribs, they be all right.
girl? And the way she was getting fucked, I don't know. That girl was a warrior. Okay.
For real, because these men are rough. They're all very rough. Like Kenzo was, I will say, the more, he was like a little gentle, but still like they're all just roughneck, just roughnecks.
All of
They're
them
all
was like, "I'ma kill you. I fuck you. I'ma kill you." What?
like Diesel. Yeah, the whole time Diesel's like, you don't want this because I'm gonna torture you, and he made it very well known. Like, if you have sex with me, I'm torturing you, and she still was like, "Ooh, I like it." I was like, "Girl, run! That man is crazy.
You know
That man
what?
is
Did like a mix of reading because I was like, I was reading it on the Kindle, but like I would pause it and when I was like cooking dinner and stuff, I put on the audiobook. Absolutely not. I'll tell
me
you
too.
that. Absolutely. I could
Me
not
too.
do the
I
audiobook.
I think I started off reading and then I did audiobook for like the last of it. I just wasn't a fan of the narrator.
Girl, Diesel was a sick
It was
bastard.
that
Whoever
like
said,
I just will say I think that was the thing. Like the other ones weren't so cringe.
girl,
I was
I
like, this
about
one.
died. What the fuck?
I just yeah, I don't know. Do you have a favorite quote from this?
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, it has a word I hate in it because, of
Does
course,
it have talk?
it has cock in it, but I absolutely loved it. It actually made me want to wait patiently for some cock because he said, it was Ryder, I believe, that said it in chapter 59. He said, you'll get my cock when I tell you you'll get my cock. And I was like, baby, okay, I'ma wait. I'm okay.
Because my quote was also from Ryder, and it was so short and to the point. I don't know what it is about this man, but from the beginning, I was like, something about him is very much like just dominating. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
very much like, I'm in charge. You're going to be submissive. You don't get any options. And that, I was like, I like that. So then when they were finally about to do the do, and he told her, crawl to me,
Oh,
I was done.
oh,
Any book I read and I see
that
crawl to me, bitch, I'm on my knees. What
I'm
you
on.
talking about? Every time. I was like, I was waiting too. I was like, when are they gonna do something? Because he just is very much like trying to keep her away from him like that. And
Mm-hmm.
then when they finally started, and then of course, Roxy is also very much stubborn and like she's a boss ass bitch. So
Girl,
the fact that he told her that, and what that bitch do? Get on her knees and crawl to him, because I would have did the same motherfucker.
and did.
Okay, and did because yes, tell me, I'll
You
crawl
know
to you.
what?
Tell me. I was like, that quote right there. Like, if I see crawl to me in a book, I'm done. Like, I'm immediately just
He
like,
said I
okay.
passed out.
I'm like, this
Okay.
is what I'm here for. This is what I'm here for. Okay, this is
Wet
exactly
spot
what I'm here
activated.
Literally. Literally. I'm like, all right, we finna get active.
You know,
This is what I'm here
Roxy needed her ass whooped because there was a time where she told Ryder some bullshit. She had told him that his brother fuck harder than
for. Oh
than
my,
he did. I said, "Bitch, are you insane?"
crazy. Crazy. And she really did. And then isn't that the scene where he put the bottle in her?
That fancy little water bottle she was
Yeah,
talking
it
about.
was fancy. In my mind, I was like, ooh, what kind of water is this?
I was thinking of the little Aquana bottle.
Yes. Yes.
No,
Yes.
like,
Same. I couldn't think of the name, but that's exactly what I was picturing. I was like, "Ooh, girl!" I was like, as soon as she said that, I was like, "You in for it? You should
yep.
have said that." I was like, "You should not have said that."
I was
And
like,
now you got to do. Now you got a bottle in you, and he fucking you in your ass because you want to say crazy shit. Now look at you. Now look
right.
what. Now look where you at.
Look what you did,
Look
girl.
what you done did.
I mean, I will say the plot was a mess and a little unrealistic. But for me, with the smut, I enjoyed it. I
I will
I
say that,
definitely enjoyed it.
like, the plot was just. Let's be real. I didn't read this for the plot. Okay.
That
Like,
part.
so I'm gonna, like, I will say the plot was a little bit shaky for me. I wasn't really like really into the triad storyline. I really wasn't into that. I was here for the smut. Like, once they said 4 fine ass men, 1 girl, I was like, here we go. Like,
Yeah.
this is what I'm here for. This is literally what I'm here for. This is
Anytime
what
there's
I came
four
for.
men in a book, yeah, I'm for it. I'm gonna read it because that's my man's. You
And we
know.
just reverse harem girlies, and that's just what it is. Like, if I any book
Period.
that has 4 men, 1 girl, like that, yes, sign me the fuck up. Sign me the fuck up. So yeah, I would say I probably rated a 5 as far as like spice goes,
Yeah.
and a 4.5 as far as like the book as a whole. Just because, like you said, the plot was just kind of I wasn't really following the triad plot too much. I was just more like, girl, we about to get some dick because there are a lot of them in that. You ain't you ain't stepping hard enough for me.
I
Sure.
have one more thing to complain about in this book, and
What?
it's Garrett. It's Garrett, and it's at the end of the book with that damn ring, and where he got that damn ring from. Because you not telling me that you giving me a ring from a bitch that set you up.
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
I'm not accepting that. I'm sorry. I need a new ring, but I'm gonna take all 4 of them still. But I'm gonna pawn that
Yeah.
bitch. Okay,
And that was so crazy to me. I'm like, not you marrying 4.
and
Okay.
kidnapping a judge.
I was like, okay, not me kicking my feet under the table. Like, 4? You got 4 husbands? Girl, what? And they kidnapped a judge just so they could marry you? Girl. That's what I'm talking about.
She's
Because
living my dream.
when she got there, I was like, how the hell is she gonna marry 4 men? And then they kidnapped a judge. So I was like, oh yeah, they could kind of do whatever the fuck they want. So
Kinda. I mean, again, unrealistic because the shit's not finna
yeah.
fly like
I
forever. but
was like,
I get the
oh,
gist. I get the
I
story.
love you so much. They're gonna kidnap a judge so they can all marry you, girl. Who are you?
Right. Living my dream. I tell you, that bitch is living the dream. I mean, besides her getting like her titties cut up and like fucked in the ass with a knife, all of that stuff like can stay where it's at. But like the 4 men and like, a little bit of rough, sex, I'm with.
What was your favorite sex scene?
I think mine was actually with Ryder when he was like the crawl to me.
Oh, God, that's a
That shit was fire.
rent free in my head.
When
Like
I mean, I don't know, I just like the way he talked because he was
I
like, "Okay, daddy, I'll do whatever you say."
literally, like, I feel like any sex scene with Ryder, because he is just so demanding. Like, and he
Mhm.
like, you think you have some power and you have none. Like, I'm going to control you. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do, and you gonna do it. I will say I did. I liked the first scene where she had sex with Kenzo because it was just like finally, and he rough, so he like chasing her down the hall, slamming
Mm.
her into the wall. I was like, yes, girl, get it, quit running from him. And then
Mm.
only he fucks her in the hall, but then Diesel catches them fucking in the hall. And I feel like that just made Diesel even, he already was just a hornball.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to fuck her more. And then after he fucks her, and she has a knife in her ass and all that. And then she goes upstairs and Kenzo bathes her and takes a bubble bath with her and cleans her up. Like, can we say just chef's kiss for the aftercare? Like, they was really just doting on this girl hand and foot. Like, there was nothing that she could have asked for that they wouldn't have gave her.
Period. And you know what? They actually did a lot of decent amount of foreplay. Most of the time, they just be like, stick it in the fucking ass, stick it in a coochie, and don't be playing with the clit. None of that. She got that. And
No, they
I'm like,
very much like, and I feel like all of them were very much about her pleasure. Like, yeah, they, were getting pleasure from it, but they were mostly like, all four of them were like, we're going to literally drive you so fucking crazy until you're literally begging. Like,
right.
and I love that. I was like, yes, can we get some foreplay? Like, I need some sense of like you doing all this to me to where I'm literally begging you, like, please, please. And there were so many scenes in this book where literally she was begging them. And I was like, see, this is chef's kiss. I love it.
And then Shadi was definitely, you know how they'd be like in a relationship, you're not supposed to be your man's therapist. Like your man should get a therapist. I felt like all these niggas needed a therapist, okay?
They was a little off their rocker, but they didn't been do some shit. So, but they was definitely like Diesel. He needed to be in like a mental institution.
He did. He needed to be
But
locked
I
up.
will say, like, I loved him as a character because even though everyone else was like so terrified of him, he was supposed to be this terrifying thing. Like, she still just loved him, and even he was confused. Like, why does this girl love me? I'm literally crazy. Everyone is always saying how like fucking unhinged and crazy I am, and she did not care. Like, she was still like, I'm right here with you. Like, I'm just as crazy. It was so I was like, I like that. And can we just say the pet names in this book? I love them because in some of these books they have the most cringiest fucking names that they call the girl. Like, ugh, throw up. And these names were so just like princess, baby, darling. Like, I just think the pet names in this book were like finally something that wasn't so fucking cringe. Like, even though Garrett was like a dickhead, but every time he called her baby, I was like, I'm melting. I'm literally melting inside. Literally melting.
Yeah, no, I definitely enjoyed the pet names. The fact that it was over a couple of weeks, the love was crazy for me, but I also was like, if it wasn't over a couple of weeks and it was like expanded and if it was realistic, but it's not, okay, it's smut, I get it. But if it wasn't, I'm like, they had so much love for Roxy that it just felt good. Every time I wanted to like read the book, every time I had a moment to pick up the book and read it, I was like, they kind of love this bitch.
They did. They just wanted to fuck her and treat her right. Like, literally, that was it. Like, they're like, we just want to fuck you and literally just treat you like a princess. That's all. Nothing else.
They really did. I think they did a great job. I think it was a really good smutty story. Very spicy.
The spice was spicing. Like,
Yeah.
all the sex scenes in this book, I was like, yes, all of it. All of it. They were great. These
I
these men was whoo,
mm,
very hot. Very hot.
very much so.
So I think I would 1,000,000% recommend this book.
Me too.
A
I would
million. I guess if you don't like knife play, like I personally wouldn't. I guess I would say like I personally wouldn't like knife play, but I guess in the book for her character, like it made sense.
yeah, because
But
she liked all that rough shit. Like
yeah,
everything that was
don't-
nasty and rough,
but
she
if
was
you don't
for
like
it.
to read about it, then yeah, I guess I probably wouldn't recommend it. But if you nasty, like I'm nasty, because I'm nasty, then I would recommend this book.
Out of all the smutty books I've read, this is probably like one of the books that had the most smut.
Mhm.
And even though it was some shit that I would never do, I still was like, shit, that's nice.
Like they be making you think, like, Because for real, like 4 men, I'm like, girl, who are you kidding? Like, you be tired and you think you could handle being in a house with 4 men, you're crazy. But when you be reading, you be like, that does sound nice. Like it just it's crazy. But I will say I really enjoyed this book. Like I think this one was a really good one, and I'm so glad we read it. The plot was but the spice, everything. Like I was like reading it, I'm like, okay, this like a little sexy porno. All right, let's go.
It definitely was giving sexy porno, and it was I mean, I do like the idea of her, like I mean, I wanna say I like the idea of it, like, in real life, but, like, in book story, I like the idea of her, like, being kidnapped and kind of, like, sold to 4 men, and it kinda working out in her favor, so I fuck with it.
Mm-hmm. And so that's it for this episode. So join us next week on Friday where we will be reviewing Bait by Jade West.